Hey, what's happening? Steve Duffy here with Joe Nash. We're just getting together on a monthly basis, kind of demystifying solar. O is a solar consultant here in Florida and, is running into all kinds of things when it comes to questions that homeowners have, getting into the legislation and seeing what kind of misinformation is going around about solar. So, hey, Joe, welcome. Thanks again for joining us for a little solar chat. How's it going?
Greetings, Steve. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Cool. So we're working down in the Sunshine State and seeing all kinds of things happening with the solar industry. It's a burgeoning industry. It seems like everybody's going solar now, but like you were telling me earlier, it's really just a small percentage of people so far, and the electric companies are getting nervous, right?
Very much so, and very disturbingly so regarding their tactics. Wow.
All right, well, let's start there. Can you just kind of tell us what is going on as far as as far as legislation in regards to solar?
It's pretty scary. So if anybody wants to fact check this, go ahead. There's been some very reputable newspapers in Tampa Bay, Miami, etc. They've done some research to uncover some real interesting goings on here in our current legislative session. So long story short, Florida Power and Light is the biggest utility provider in Florida. About 1% of their customers now have solar, and they're getting very worried about their profits. As a matter of fact, I saw a customer last night, an FP&L customer, and she was complaining to me how she's got now a $9 extra charge for solar. Well, she doesn't have solar. Basically, that $9 extra charge is her paying for FP&L's huge solar project. So they get it. I mean, solar is the future. That's why, them and the mouse, they're investing heavily in solar because they know that it's very cost effective and in a cheap way to produce a lot of energy. It's a great investment. But what they don't like is when Florida residents go solar. FP&L drafted legislation, hand delivered it to a state representative in Jacksonville, who was to introduce this to the floor and quickly made a $10,000 donation to her. And now it's being kicked around. So basically, if this bill passes, it would basically destroy net metering, which is the way that solar works in Florida, where all you're doing is swapping kilowatt hours. I produce a kilowatt hour and give it to you, and then when I need it, you give it back. There's really no change. They would change the structure of that to where instead of you getting full credit for the kilowatt hour you gave them, you'd be only getting credit for what they're buying electricity wholesale, which of course is a fraction of what they actually charge you. If they're charging you 12, 14 cents a kilowatt hour, they're probably only paying, around 3 cents for that kilowatt hour. So when you're making power and you're getting credited at a far less cost, it's going to take much more time to get your return on investment for that. There's been tens of thousands of jobs that have been created in Florida, and really only about 1% of Floridians have gone solar residential. And this would basically destroy the solar industry because the power companies are very greedy. As we all know, it's a monopoly, and they want to strengthen their monopoly on you and tell you what you can and can't do on your own roof. It's unbelievable.
Words for that kind of government, and it's not a democracy, and it's not representing the people, obviously. But from what I understand, and a little bit that I've looked into it, they are getting a ton of pushback on that, which makes sense because there are so many people that are benefiting from solar nowadays, and you're locking in your energy costs. We have no idea how much the energy rates are going to go up over another decade.
It's at least 4% a year. When you look at that, if you look at what that really equates to, say 20 years out, you're literally going to be paying double for your power in less than 20 years at that type of rate increase.
Electric customers are paying for their solar installations.
Well,
So
that was another little shady thing that happened. The board that regulates utilities and insurance, et cetera, and tends to moderate the rate hikes that they want, just basically gave the utility companies carte blanche. They can raise their rates whatever they want, and they're basically taking money from customers today to pay for their investments for tomorrow.
yeah, that's not so. All right, that just adds to the confusion that people are already dealing with. So as of right now, you have the solar tax credit, which is saving Florida, consumers on the price of a solar installation, making it more worthwhile for them to get solar, makes it a better deal for them. And right now, you said it's like what, 26%, but in coming years, it's set to decline, right?
Yes and no. That's another interesting topic. So, whenever I'm online, scrolling through Facebook, YouTube, I get these ads that say, hey, with the new Florida solar incentive, it's zero cost to you. Okay. If you didn't hear what I just said like 5 minutes ago, there is no Florida incentive. Florida is doing everything they can here, the land of sunshine, to squash this for you and me, so they get it all. The only incentives right now are federal incentives, and that is a 20%, 26% income tax credit. So, the thing is, people that don't have any taxable income or very little taxable income, they're not able to take advantage of that credit because, if you have a $40,000 solar array and the government's going to pay for roughly $10,000 of that, you have to have $10,000 in tax liability in the first place in order to enjoy that credit. If you're on Social Security and have very little or if any taxable income, then you're not going to get that credit. And if some solar guy is telling you that you are, they're lying. Which brings me back to the no cost due to Florida's no cost solar incentive. That's a lie from the start. There's no such thing. There is no incentive in Florida to help you go solar. The only thing there is what the federal government is putting out with the 26% tax credit, and that's scheduled to drop to 22% next year, 2023. And unless new legislation is passed, there will be no, solar incentive. There'll be no investment from the federal government to help you defray the cost of going solar. And that doesn't even get into the weeds of, well, what if I want to go solar and I don't have that type of, tax liability? It just, the whole model is very skewed and definitely needs to be looked at if we really do want to try to reduce our carbon emissions and go green. We say we do, but that's not what's happening.
And in many cases, it is due to industries that are profiting off of the way things are.
Let me just sum it up in one word. It's greed.
Yeah, it's too bad, and we would hope to be moving past that as a civilization. We don't know if solar is right for us, right? So a lot of times we'll go online and look at a solar calculator, perhaps go to a website, try to decide how much we can save by going solar. And how would you use a solar calculator for one of your customers?
An online solar calculator is pretty basic. They're going to say, enter the price of your electric bill, $150. And they're going to say, download your address so that we can pull up an aerial view of your roof and see roughly what your production capabilities may be based on the roof, the house orientation, et cetera, et cetera. And they're going to say, okay, you know what, you can put enough panels on your roof to cover a $150 electric bill. And then they're going to take all of your personal information, your address, your name, your phone number, your email, all the other things that they asked you for. And, people think that a lot of these websites are just they're just calculators. They're going to help you understand whether or not this is right for you. But what they're really going to do is they're going to sell your data to a bunch of solar providers in your area that, it's basically a lead, and they're going to sell it to, anywhere between, 1 and 10 other companies, and they're going to blow up your phone, and they're going to blow up your email, and they're going to send somebody over with a bunch of high pressure sales. These are, in a lot of cases, not solar companies, they're sales companies that sell solar. And your, 30 panel solution for $150 bill is such a small part of what the overall strategy is, based on the other variables to maximize your specific needs. It's like I tell people when they see a solar rep and they have some, canned PowerPoint presentation they're showing you. I mean, ask yourself, what are the odds of, this PowerPoint presentation being exactly what my solution is? It's the same thing for everybody, with other than the variables of your roof and your electric bill. So, it may give you an idea, and, at the risk of being Captain Obvious, I mean, go take a look at your roof. If most of it's facing north or it's under trees, you're probably not a good candidate for solar. If it's not, then if that's not the case, then you probably are. So just, be wary that, hey, as soon as I click send on this and I see what the solar potential is on my roof, the phone's probably going to ring like 5 seconds later, unless you're on the do not call, and it may still ring anyway.
I mean, that's a real subject of concern, right? Because if you don't know any better, you can go on there, you can do the solar calculator, it tells you what you want to hear. And ultimately, you could end up with solar panels installed under a bunch of trees. They end up getting installed on, the side of the house that doesn't get enough sun. That would all be worst case scenario.
I've seen a lot of worst case scenarios, believe me. Arrays on a north facing roof, may get sun a couple months out of the year, just a complete waste of money. And, somebody took one over on a consumer that, like you said, doesn't know any better.
Yeah. Well, that's why we're here. And that's why it's important to have somebody who can really go into the details with you. I know, well, being up here in Maine, we're not getting into solar yet, although there are tons of solar farms going in up here. We would want to get all the details, make sure that, it's going to be really be a good investment for us. So
speaking of large solar farms, I guess there was like a big abandoned mine in Kentucky that is being converted to, a couple 100-acre solar farm, that the utilities are embracing. But, they're of course passing all that investment right on to the consumer. And, the thing that people just don't get about, they're being on the fence about going solar or not is, if you haven't gone solar, you're still paying for solar. You're just paying for their solar, not your solar. And you will never free yourself of that monopoly, that grip, that monthly bill that you get every month, that I have no idea what it is, but I have to pay it if I want to keep the lights on and the food cold.
That bill that keeps going up. Is there anything else, any stories that come across the news desk?
That's the most recent thing. I did have a thought the other day. I posted on the Joe Does Solar Facebook page, to try to simplify this. My frustration is that so many customers are turned off because of all the kinds of things that we talked about, the sales tactics and the failure and the lack of regulation of solar companies to really put that customer's interest first, to disclose all of the potential hidden costs. And, that being said, if you wanted to look at it in a very, high level view, like why should I go solar? Why shouldn't I go solar? Imagine this. Imagine your utility company sends you an email and says, man, you've been with us for like the last 10 years. You're a great customer, and we've got a special promotion just for you. We're only offering this to, 1% of our customers. And option A is just to continue to pay your electric bill for the next 10, 12 years and As long as you do that, with no rate hikes, by the way, and as long as you do that, we will charge you after 10 or 12 years, basically nothing, 10, 15, 20 bucks a month, just for being on the grid, just for being a great customer. That's the promo. That's option A. That's going solar. Okay. All you're doing is reallocating the money that you would be given to the utility company anyway, and allocating it into a solar investment. It's a wash. Option B is decline the offer and continue to pay us whatever we tell you to pay us forever, with whatever rate hikes we want to lump on you. Is this difficult? And this is why I'm like, why don't you get it? Now, obviously there's other factors in there, and that's where it takes a guy like me to help weed out, hey, is this going to have an impact on your insurance? Is this going to have an impact? What's the condition of your roof? Are there other ways to score with this project by rolling some other things into it, like a new water heater or something like that? But if you really want to broad brush the general premise of what going solar is about, it's exactly that. It's about reallocating the funds that you're given to another company and giving them to yourself for something you're eventually going to own and be free of their electric bill for all intents and purposes. And that's really what the win is in solar, and that's what they're scared about. They're losing money every day, every time somebody goes solar. And unfortunately, when somebody goes solar, we all win, and they're fighting against our collective victory to try to stop the damage that we're already doing to our planet.
Fighting against progress,
Right.
Yeah, I always wonder if this is the road Atlantis went down and they lost. Who knows?
I'll tell you what, man, I've been having some deep thoughts these days.
Yeah. So as of right now, it sounds like solar is a no-brainer, and it's something, whatever toehold industry has, I don't think they're going to keep, because the people are powerful and we vote with our dollars, and voting with our dollars is ultimately the most powerful thing we can do. And you can't stop a tidal wave. So yeah, congratulations on, surfing that wave, or, being ahead of it. I think helping people to understand the value and benefit is really what this is all about. Yeah, thank you for that. Will do.
Okay, and I'm here to help. I'm here to help, and I've said it 100 times. If I was in your situation, and I wouldn't be jumping on the solar train right here. It's just not right for you. Be it, a more permanent situation or a temporary, I swear I will tell you to walk, because I can't live like that. And I don't know how a lot of these solar guys do. It's a shame. It's bad for all of us.
Well, that's what we need. We need more of that in the world. Just
Indeed.
Good advice coming from the heart.
Either part of the problem or part of the solution.
Yep, exactly. Thank you for the good insight, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Stay safe.
All right, Joe. Bye-bye.